What's going on, guys? Aero here, and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, I want to talk to you guys more about Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but I want to talk to you guys about the possibility of this game getting DLC. Now from the time that I'm making this video, Nintendo actually announced a special Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Direct, which is going to be happening on June 22nd, so I figured if there is going to be DLC coming for this game, they're probably going to announce it within the Direct because that seems like the best spot to do it. And Xenoblade Chronicles 2 also did have a Direct, and that was the one where we did get the announcement for the Xenoblade 2 DLC and all of that stuff, so I figured it would either be confirmed or deconfirmed tomorrow within the Direct anyway, so I did want to talk about this, so I figured I would just get my video out there and give you guys my thoughts. Now real quick about the Xenoblade 3 Direct, I will be streaming that tomorrow on my Twitch, so if you guys want a chill stream to kind of just vibe with and watch as we see all the new information about this game, definitely give me a follow on twitch.tv/actualaero. I think I'm probably going to start my stream a little earlier than the Direct too, so we can kind of just vibe for a little bit and give our predictions and speculate about what could be shown. So if you guys want to have a good time and just watch with me, definitely consider following there. Now, about the possibility if Xenoblade Chronicles 3 could be getting a DLC expansion pass, it is a topic that I've seen people talking about quite frequently, as a lot of people are wondering if something like that could happen again. Now, the total amount of content that Xenoblade Chronicles 2's expansion pass gave us was already just really insane, and probably still the best DLC that I've seen on the Nintendo Switch, might even be one of the best DLCs of all time, just considering how much stuff that you got for the value that it was. I think it was like $30 if you bought everything digitally, but then if you bought like Torna as like the physical copy, you could get that for $40, but really just considering all the stuff that they gave you, like first of all, they just gave you a bunch of useful items that you were able to use, so you could get like new things to upgrade Poppy with, and you got some core crystals and things like that, so new gear and stuff like that, which wasn't really super crucial. But then you've got a couple of new blades that were added, so you had a bunch of new rare blades, and they all came with their own things that you could do to customize them. So you got a couple of new rare blades, which are basically new ways to be able to use them in the gameplay, so you got that. We had some hot swimsuits that were added, so you got some new customizable outfits and things that you were able to get there. We had the entire challenge mode, which was added, and inside of challenge mode you could do a whole bunch of different missions and have different levels of difficulty and use those to unlock new items and things as well. So we had that. And then of course we had the giant big expansion at the very end with Torna the Golden Country, which was essentially just a brand new game, like literally just an entire new game. And it was just crazy for me because the way that I got into Xenoblade was actually through Twitter, where people told me to buy the game when I did a poll on Black Friday. I ended up picking up the game for $30, and I was like, okay, let's just see what this game is all about. So I didn't actually look at any of the trailers or have any prior information. And eventually I got to a point where I was just enjoying Xenoblade 2 a lot, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy the DLC. I'm not even gonna care what it is, I'm just gonna buy it. And I knew like people told me to play it after I beat the game, so I didn't really open it or like look at anything on it. So when I started the DLC and I saw that like it was literally an entire new game and we were set back to level 1 again, I was like, how in the world is this an entire DLC? Like, it's just a straight up new game. I was really thinking it was just going to be a couple of extra like side quest missions or something in the end, but no, it's literally an entire new game. So it was just an insane expansion to get, and a lot of people are wondering if something like that could happen with Xenoblade 3. Now, if you want a potential reason to believe that maybe a Xenoblade 3 expansion pass could happen, if we take a look at the Xenoblade 3 page on Nintendo's website, if we take a look right here, it does say that there's going to be in-game purchases with this game. And I mean, the only thing that this could be is like, one, it could be microtransactions, which I am like 99.9% sure that monolithsoft is not going to do inside of the game. Even Xenoblade 2 didn't do this, and like they could have easily gotten away with making like the whole core crystal stuff gotcha with like microtransactions and loot boxes. So they didn't do it there. They're definitely not going to do it with Xenoblade 3, or a lot of people would be really upset. So the only other logical thing to predict is that it could be some type of DLC, and there's going to be an option to purchase the DLC or something like from the main menu or something like that maybe, and that's why it's coming up saying that there's going to be an extra purchase inside of the game. Now, I'm not telling you to believe that this 100% confirms that Xenoblade 3 is going to be getting DLC, but it is just something that's a little interesting. Alright, but the last couple of things now that I just want to talk about is what a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC could be like, because it really depends on if they decide to make it as big and as grand as they did with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And the thing with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was that the DLC was really kind of just based around the vision that they had for the game. Like with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the whole story was based around a lot of the stuff that happened in the past 500 years ago with the Aegis War, and during the game, just in the main story of Xenoblade 2, you would be getting so many flashbacks to Adam and just just things that happened in the past. So it was really cool to get Torna the Golden Country, which was just a way to experience literally all of those flashback scenes, but getting the full context of them and just viewing the whole scene for what it was, and getting to see kind of all of the stuff that happened in the past and why it happens the way that it does in the main story of Xenoblade 2. So unless they also developed Xenoblade 3 in a similar way to have another giant expansion go hand in hand with it, I don't know if the DLC for Xenoblade 3, if it is going to happen, is going to be as grand as Torna was. Of course, I would love for that to happen. I think getting another giant game like that kind of to play next year, just having that as DLC like how Torna came out a year after Xenoblade 2, it would be just really amazing, and the Xenoblade hype would of course continue. But I don't know, I mean, there's a lot of other ways that they could also do DLC, so I think it's still possible. And of course, here's some other options that I just have listed are for the Xenoblade 3 expansion. They could of course just give us more gears and items and things like that. So obviously they could add like swimsuits and things that they did like with the Xenoblade 2 expansion. The challenge mode could also be something that maybe they're also going to be putting behind DLC. And maybe there will be a really cool cutscene like how Shulk and Rex got to meet inside of Xenoblade 2, where Noah and all his friends get to meet Shulk and Rex inside of Xenoblade 3. But in terms of like an actual story expansion like how Torna happened, I don't really know exactly what they could do because it really kind of depends on how they develop Xenoblade 3. So maybe it's possible that they could do exactly what they did with Torna and just give us a big prequel story for the big DLC for Xenoblade 3, and maybe it's a prequel that happens like before Ionios even formed, and maybe we get to see like adult Rex and adult Shulk or something. That would be kind of sick. Or maybe it's going to be a prequel about Noah as his childhood, and we get to play as like little young Noah or something. They could do that. They could go the other route like what they did with Future Connected and have like an epilogue where maybe the ending of Xenoblade 3 wraps up pretty nicely, but you can also get like this really big expansive epilogue DLC which comes out later, and that wraps up the ending even more and makes it even more conclusive, and you get just like a really nice ending to pretty much the entire trilogy with that ending. I don't know, I mean, there's a lot of other ways that they could do it, so it really just kind of comes down to what they have in mind if they decide to do it. And so yeah, there you go guys, that is the possibility of if Xenoblade Chronicles 3 could be getting an expansion pass DLC. If you guys enjoyed this video, then definitely be sure to click that like button and also comment down below and let me know what you guys think of this. Would you guys be excited to see if Xenoblade Chronicles 3 could be getting an expansion pass DLC? Would you like to see it? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. I'm definitely going to have some more Xenoblade content in the future, so definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Click on that bell to become a part of the notification squad. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.